All right,
Yeah.
we are live on YouTube, and we're opening the public hearing that was scheduled for 6 PM today to discuss amendments to the Unified Development Ordinance. And I sent you all a copy of the public notice that we put in the paper, which outlined all of the revisions, most of them pretty minor. There's no member of the public here tonight, but if anyone has any questions they want to talk about now, we can do that. Or we can close the public hearing and move on with our regular meeting.
I have no questions, comments.
Nor I.
Good. No questions. It's up to the board if you want to make a motion to close, or you want to wait a couple minutes and see if anyone shows up.
Let's give them 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
That's Beacon Snyder, property website. Okay. I'm fine, I think your house on there, and my house, I mean, see what, who owns it? Here's the electric wires.
Oh, it's gonna rain. Big time.
We need it though.
It's okay if I go out and move my car closer?
You've got some time.
Oh, it's gonna get red.
I just washed mine yesterday.
Thanks,
And the
Aaron.
wheels and
Me
everything.
too.
My garden appreciates your effort.
What's the number on this? What's the house number?
How's things at the county?
What's the property number, like, what's the house number on
It's
this?
right where Dorman turns on the hillside. I went ahead and get the number,
Yeah.
but,
I was looking on, trying to look on Beacon.
yeah, it's at the corner.
Haven't seen Nicole or anybody for a while. Yeah.
Let's see if I can get it.
Yeah, it even's got her name there, Diana
He
Estep.
was working for Denton,
Yeah.
so,
Dorman
got-
and Estep.
yeah, he does.
Is it that one?
Has he? Is he?
Yeah.
He's good.
106.
I like him. Yeah, yeah, Beaker.
106.
Beaker.
Yeah.
I'm the only person who calls him Dave, I don't know.
First when you said Dave, I was like,
Professional thing, I guess, I don't know. He's Beaker.
mm-hmm.
I would've thought there's a 4.5 acre lot on Dorman.
I never thought he'd get married, but he did.
I
Yeah,
know.
there are some
He
nice.
really seems happy too.
Yeah, it's
whenever he
crazy
does
once you get
post
up there and
anything
ride
on
around.
Facebook, he's always,
You know he cut his nose off, right?
Shoot, the guy with top quality.
Fell through a glass door and cut his nose off.
Yeah, that's where he had that flat area.
I mean, cut it off.
literally.
Put it back on.
They did.
He looked pretty
Who did? He did?
rough for a while, but now the surgeon, I believe.
Yes, yes.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's probably been a year now, hasn't it?
More probably.
Yeah.
Pretty well healed.
Yes.
And if you ride your bike up there,
Can
it's,
he breathe okay?
it's quite a,
Yeah,
Getting better.
Blood flowing.
I think
and then you
he's,
can fly
he had a
down.
lot of scarring, and they went in there and it's called Belage,
You
where
might have
they,
done
they use
Excuse me.
expanders, and I think he's doing better.
Oh,
I know,
good.
but like getting over there, cause like Parkside doesn't have any, sidewalk, so I'm always like, kids over here.
Right.
Cutting in and out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he described it.
Yeah, we walk Sierra and we're on
Was he
Parkside
at
as short
home?
as possible,
Or-
because.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
With parked cars and the cars coming.
they trip
back.
over the dog's lead
I read that
going out the door. I think that's what happened.
Today about the property on the street,
I
congratulations.
think the dog,
That's
You
awesome.
know?
they got a little
Yeah, we're
yappy
very
dog and it
excited, finally.
wound itself
Been
around
a long
his
time
legs,
coming,
and that's
but,
how he
you know, a
fell
lot of
through the
people
door.
don't know how much work Mel did in the inside, and now we can
Yeah.
work on the outside and, you know, make it a good hub for everybody.
Article did a really good job of giving her credit for everything that she did do. I had no idea.
Yeah.
You can't really see any of that from the outside. It looks like it's, like,
Exactly, I
falling
wish that
apart.
people knew, and because people are like, oh my gosh, what was going on? I'm like, well, she had to start from the ground up. Electric, walls, I mean, you know,
Okay.
HVAC, roof.
Does anyone want to make a
everything,
motion to
so.
close the public hearing?
Move to close the public hearing. I'll second it.
Did anyone second it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
Karen.
sorry, I missed that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. We will open the regular meeting, and we will begin with a roll call vote. Linda Cromer,
Here.
Jude Schulte,
Yes.
Aaron Cornett. Here. Karen Abbott,
Here.
Aaron Markway,
Here.
and Ryan Good. Here. We are missing a member appointed by council, and we will put that on the agenda for the May council meeting. This is our first meeting of the year, so we would need to do election of officers. Does anyone want to start that process?
Acting Chair, I was looking at the terms of office at the bottom of the page.
Mm-hmm.
And given the tenure of those listed on that list, I would nominate Jude Schulte to be chair of the committee.
I'd second that.
Yep.
We have a first and second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Sorry about your luck.
Can you, someone tell me who seconded that? Was that Aaron?
Aaron, with an M.
And I believe we have a secretary on this board.
Has not, in the past, hadn't the secretarial function been a function of an administrative person with the city?
Yes,
Just a
I think-
question.
Yes, it has.
Has that person been you?
No.
Who has
No.
that person been?
It was Jay for a long time, and I don't,
I think that's
don't remember who it
I
was
think
after
that's a
that.
pretty good practice. And I would certainly request that Anthony Smart, since he is at these meetings anyway, serve as a secretary to the meeting.
I'm happy to,
That cost you $10.
I'm happy to do that if
He's
the,
gonna be here anyway.
I'm happy to be the secretary if that's the board's motion.
I'll second that.
Double our money.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Okay. And old business, I did not bring the minutes from, I believe, was August 2025. I'll bring that to the next meeting.
It's a long time.
And if it's okay with you all, I'd like to move the Panero lot split request above the UDO.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. And Mr. Crouch, would you mind presenting that for us?
Yes, Trustee.
However you want to present. If you would, if you want, the microphone would pick you up for the people watching
Okay.
from home.
Nobody's watching. Guys, like two of us.
Good evening. I'm Archie Crouch, Planning Consultants, representing Diana Estep is the property mainly we're talking about this evening, and Georgia Panero. So they have the handout with the diagram, or just the, okay. I have a couple aerials if you don't want to see an aerial of kind of where it lies. I think I just have 5 if you guys want to pass them around accordingly. I just inked on kind of the rough sketch of what we're doing. So this involves 2 parcels. So if you see a rectangle there and it says home sites, that is part of the Panero property to the north. The rest of that highlighted is the Estep property, and you'll see that in the aerial highlighted. So that rectangle, the first thing we would do if we got approval would be a survey dividing the Panero property, and she's gonna transfer that non-buildable rectangle to a step. And then that would be consolidated with the Estep property, and then we would create a survey dividing that as shown on the drawing with the dashed line. So that's why I have the two land hooks there. Ultimately, that would be the steps, and that would be, so I don't know if there's any questions on that pathway we're creating there. So once it's consolidated, she can then divide it. When I say non-buildable, that little rectangle Georgia's divided could never stand on its own. It'd have to be attached to the property to the south. So then ultimately, what we're wanting approved is the Estep property to be divided as shown. There's 260, each lot would have 63 feet of frontage on Dorman Avenue. I think the minimum is 60 feet. The area requirements are there, and there would be one drive. You would start where the existing drive, to that little house that's already there to the south, comes up, and then they're gonna attempt to build a drive up the hill to those home sites. And then there will be for the simplicity of the meeting, I'm showing one drive access and utility easement. I'd imagine utilities will be over easements that will be separate from the driveway, path of least resistance type stuff. But it'll be on them to have a site plan to show the drive and show how they're gonna get sanitary sewer up there and where they're gonna tap in and how they're gonna get water up there. At some point to satisfy the city. We're here to really get approval just so we can divide the property as it's shown. So.
Now, the Panero property behind these two home sites, what's the plan for those? She would like to also make use of that easement to get access to that property. Which easement?
The dash line we're showing. So there will be an easement to these parcels. It'll be for these parcels together with and subject to, so they can get to those home sites. Somewhere along the way, she would come off of that into her property.
The last time we spoke, you were going to come off Robinson Drive.
She has on her deed an easement. It's kind of vague that she can build an easement over Robinson Drive. If you look on the aerial, there's houses to the east, and they all work off an easement over a drive coming off of Robinson on top of the hill. She would have to build a drive and get an easement from her neighbor to her property. I don't think because of the language in her deed, they can deny her. She would rather come off of this entrance to the south on Dorman.
So.
But once again, we're not seeking approval for that. I guess it's something, you have to weigh.
I have a couple questions.
Yeah.
And you obviously, as you stated 3 times, are not seeking approval for those things. But I think it's incumbent on us to look down the road at that. I don't see how there's ever going to be fire service up there or EMT service up there. Or I think it's, while that's not the ask tonight, I think it's something that's gonna have to be pondered at some point. And I wouldn't wanna mislead her by, I think it's a question. To give her the lot split is one thing, and we can certainly do that, but she's got a myriad of problems beyond this lot split. And I think the city attorney projected that pretty well when he asked about the access off Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Would that become like a private lane, so to speak, or
It would be a shared driveway.
just a shared driveway?
Yeah. And I think in terms of maybe 911, it might have to be a private drive, but it's not gonna be a private drive in terms of engineered width or anything like that. I'm thinking, of course, I'm sitting here thinking county stuff.
Well,
And you can limit the access to these two homes. She has a legal access off of Robinson if she chooses to use that. She would rather not.
well, how many homes can be built on the rest of the property?
Well, we're creating 2 buildable sites, and then she has one, so there would be total 3, resulting 3, unless someone wanted to build an actual road up there and create a subdivision. I don't think that's the plan. Yeah, I'll sit here and say we're only looking for this split. Reality is she's gonna be left with a buildable tract, and I'm sure she plans to build up there someday. And it's incumbent on me to tell you she'd like to use this access point.
And she wants to use the access that goes over a utility easement, an existing utility easement. What utilities run up through there?
None.
None yet.
When I say access utility easement, you'd have to design it so you have your drive and then your utility. She may very well have to create other easements for utilities.
Well, Archie, I'm a little bit confused. How does the Panero lot that is remaining, how does that have frontage anywhere on Dorman?
It has no frontage now at all.
Right.
But it has that note that it has. So it's been allowed because of the easement that's stated on the deed. Potential for an easement.
And the potential's to Robinson?
Yeah, to Robinson. So it's never had frontage. So I'd say it's grandfathered. Could we create a new lot that would, like that? You would probably deny that, I don't know, but she.
Well, I mean, she can have frontage on Robinson. I think the purpose is not to have a bunch of traffic without frontage on a road. And this is going to be at least 3 on one driveway on Dorman.
And if it's shared, that's gonna be, there's gonna be issues there. I would not do a shared driveway.
An additional problem, that's a pretty sharp blind corner when you come up Hillside and turn onto Dorman. I don't know.
I think if you pull out there, you can see
I
a ways
drive
up
that all the
Dorman
time
and you.
to get to Homestead Park. And that's a pretty sharp, not all that safe corner
Mhm.
coming uphill. I bet I'm up that road 3 times a day just to get to the park. I guess if you'd come tonight with access off Robinson, it would make a heck of a lot more sense to me.
And they may agree on the plat that that lot has to be served by Robinson or come back to the board, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the 2 for a step cannot use Robinson. The language in that deed is specific to Paneros. She can use Robinson, but no additional lots can use Robinson Road.
And the reason that Panero is giving E-Step these home sites is because that's where it becomes flat.
Yeah. And if you look at that aerial, there's kind of a change in vegetation. That's kind of where you get to the crest of the hill. So yeah, it's where you get flat on top of the hill and you have quite the view up there.
Well, I don't have any issues with the lot split. I think that there's some work to be done for utilities serving these.
Mhm.
But I think that the plat should state that the rest, what remains of Georgia Panero's property has to go to Robinson Drive or has to come back to the board for approval.
I understand that completely.
So by having the 63 feet, both lots have above the minimum requirement on the frontage for Dorman?
Yes, I believe
That's the
60.
reason why it's drawn the way it is?
Yeah, I think 60 is the minimum.
All right. And at some point, the driveway is gonna cross over is that a proposed 30-foot, or is that an existing 30-foot?
That is a proposed easement.
Okay.
So their drive, whoever lives in that little house, there is no easement for the part, they have to cross that property to get to that house.
Yep.
It's been allowed forever, so it may even be prescriptive, but that's another thing.
There's another one on the other side, I think, too.
Yeah, going to the, east.
Yeah.
You can give them grace, they're allowing, all kinds of people to use their property to,
It's one way to look at it.
and that drive goes up the hill a fair amount, the one going to the east. Well, not really. There's a utility. So yeah, that's, we're still trying to figure out where the sewer tap would be. There's a manhole farther down Dorman, but the house on the corner there has to tap in somewhere. Trying to figure that one out.
How steep is that?
Pretty steep hill.
Does anyone want to make any motions on this tonight?
I'll make the motion to approve the lot split. I think you've got a lot of problems attached to any future building. And that motion is with the caveat that she come back to this board for access and for the other questions we've addressed. It's one thing to write it, it looks nice on paper, but the practicalities of it are hard. There's nothing to keep us from making a motion to split the lots. She does have the frontage, but you've got a lot of problems before she can build on them, so I'd make the motion to approve the split.
I'll second it.
Got a first and a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
For clarity, can I ask a question on I mean, it's conditional. I know it's conditional for Panero if she wants access over off of Dorman to come back to the board. Are the site plan items also a part of the conditional? Obviously, they have to be met and approved by the city. I don't know where a site plan gets approved. That's administrative, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or is she gonna need to, if they're gonna develop one of these two houses on this lot split, do they have to come back in here for
The
those?
site plan's administrative. I don't want to speak for Linda, but I assume what she's saying is she anticipates she'll be coming back to the city to make sure it can be served.
Right. Well, I'm talking about specifically the access. If she wants access not off of Robinson, but Dorman.
Yeah, I
needs to
think she
come-
needs to come back to this board.
Yeah.
We'd
Right,
like
I
on
just
the-
wanted to clarify, that was the one reason
If
she would.
she's changing
yeah.
the access, she comes to this board.
Yeah.
As far as the site plan, it's an administrative function.
Exactly, that's what I just wanted to be clear.
Yeah. Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you, Archie.
Thank you.
Okay. We have on new business, discussion of proposed text amendments to the UDO. There is another meeting scheduled here at 6:30. I don't want to rush anybody. So I will go through these if anyone wants to ask any questions, and then we can talk about how you want to move forward. The revisions that I emailed out to you included a prohibition of mobile homes as a land use, which originally, when we did the UDO, we did not believe could be included, but it is included. Revisions to which zoning districts must comply with exterior metal panel facade standards. That was an error in the original UDO. It had the wrong districts. So now it reverts back to what it used to be under the old code. A provision allowing the Plan Commission to reduce parking requirements in appropriate circumstances. We've ran into this a couple times where the code has basically a high threshold for parking, and a business comes in and says, we really don't need that much, and it basically says that the city can reduce that if they've given us some data. Maybe they have another store or some similar use that doesn't have that much parking. We have new fence standards for residential and non-residential districts that we haven't had in the past. Addition of regulations and a definition for backyard chickens, allowing them if you have under a half acre, it's 6 chickens. If you have over half acre, it's 12 chickens. I think that might be a little much, but that's what we discussed. I think Alan might have some heartburn over that.
No chickens.
He doesn't want any chickens.
Definitely no roosters, right?
Yeah, it does say no
How are we
roosters.
counting this?
Yeah,
Getting that check.
yeah.
He's the chicken counter.
We do have regulations regarding shipping containers and, I believe storage trailers got taken out of there, including zoning restrictions, location limits, and enforcement. It does, for lack of a better term, grandfather ones in that are currently existing in a couple of our zoning districts, up to 10. We have newer revised definitions for shipping containers, tractor trailers used for storage, backyard chicken, decorative wrought iron, single detached dwellings. I updated the land use matrix to reflect the changes that we discussed here, and some minor edits to the enforcement provisions. So did anyone have any concerns with any of those?
Quick question on the shipping containers going forward.
Yeah.
They're not allowed? Or what's the wording change?
So the wording change, yeah, I actually wrote down what page that was in case I got asked, and then I think I lost it.
I have it. Well, I did.
So the shipping container, new language says,
105, 106.
we haven't. Mine might be a little different than yours, Ryan, the printed version. You can't have shipping containers except for an industrial. They're gonna be an accessory building. You can do
Okay.
that. You can have them as a temporary use for up to 30 days, 2 times a year. The caveat is if you have a shipping container now, and there are a couple businesses around town that have had shipping containers for a long time, we're saying that those can stay, but they have to meet the standards. They have to be painted white. They have to, they can't be rusted if they're, they can't be replaced, blah, blah, blah. So.
And
that's
they
what
can't
it
have
says.
more than 10?
Yeah, more than 10.
Yeah.
I'd like to make the observation that I think it's unfortunate, but some of the localities that have those containers seem to have been beefing up their count lately. And that's too bad, particularly since we're talking about grandfathering them. But I don't believe in ordinances that are in effect backwards. So I think it's unfortunate that there's been the buildup on these shipping containers, but I don't know what we do about it. And the Republicans are going wild outside. I think most of us have been through meeting after meeting with these UDOs and with this limited list of changes.
Yeah.
What kind of action are you asking for?
I'm asking to send it with a favorable recommendation to council.
So moved.
Second.
Aye.
Ryan, Aaron, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you.
We try to write a 200-page document to give guidelines, so it's gotta keep adjusting and maturing.
Yeah.
That said, I
And it
will
will.
be adjourned.
All right, Linda, move to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Shouldn't pass that to the secretary.
Oh, you pass it to the secretary.
Connie.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.